Rutherford Issues with Bryan Barrett on FM 101.9 and AM 1450 Murfreesboro, FM 100.5 Smyrna. Listen and watch at WGNSradio.com.
Well, Rutherford Issues is presented by Middle Tennessee Electric. Use caulk or weather stripping to seal around those windows and doors. Stopping drafts is one of the quickest ways to lower your winter bill. Get more ideas at mte.com/myenergyplan. Wonder if Nate Williams has that idea. Did you go around and caulk and weather strip and all that stuff before the ice and snow?
Yeah, it seems like if you had a draft and you didn't realize it, you would have known last week, right?
Yeah, boy.
It was cold, man.
I noticed that the weather stripping around my front door was cracked. I mean, it is foam, so, I mean, every now and then you got to replace that stuff.
I guess so. Look at that. Just all the things we learn.
That's what you know.
The electric.
That's what you know. Well, I know that I remember hearing on our snow patrol report, Murfreesboro Parks and Recreation indoor facilities closed. And I'm sure that, if the indoors closed, the outdoors were certainly closed with ice and all that. So finally thawing out, though, aren't we?
It's thawing, yeah. I'm doing my monthly live remote here from the Murfreesboro Greenway system because I get much better cell reception off Thompson Lane by the Greenway.
Oh,
so,
nice.
I'm noticing, the birds are chirping, the sun's out, de-thawing, so... You're saying something about our outdoor facilities, and we kind of take a unique approach to that. We understand some people, might not have the biggest yard to play in or, place to experience winter weather and want to enjoy it. So we try to leave our parks open. We leave the gates open so people can, maybe enjoy the trails in a unique way. Get out and do some winter hiking's fun, especially when there's some snow. We always encourage people to, be safe, but we try to leave everything open as much as we can.
Well, that's a good thing to know. So that's why we kept saying indoor facilities because, yeah. I mean, it takes staff to run those indoor facilities and don't want to have them out on these icy roads, I guess.
Yeah, we were closed just Monday and Tuesday, but we were glad to get everything back open. We got a team that always wants to make sure we're available for our residents and our patrons of our facilities, and just a great group of people to, get out there and help get things de-iced to make them as safe as possible.
Well, I don't know if you heard, it's Groundhog Day. Punxsutawney Phil does his thing in Philadelphia, but Rutherford Ralph has been out this morning. And,
what did Rutherford Ralph say?
Well, Rutherford Ralph was on the in the Murphy Springs wetlands this morning.
Okay.
And saw his shadow. So that's 6
does that
more
mean
weeks.
More winter or less winter?
That means more winter, 6 more weeks.
All right.
So
I'm down with it. I like this weather. It's nice.
As long as we don't have ice. I mean, a little snow would be okay.
Speaking of ice, we had our Start Strong plunge this past weekend.
Yes, you did.
Known as the Polar Bear Plunge. And it was cold. It was very cold. Water temperature was 37. A little bit more fearful instead of excitement that coming from the crowd that jumped. My 8-year-old daughter jumped, and she's the toughest person in my family.
Yeah, I could say that it took a lot. I can't remember what the temperature was, but the water was certainly warmer than it was outside.
Yeah, the feels like was, I think, 5 or -5.
Yeah.
I wish I had somebody who knew weather really well to be able to tell me, but it was cold.
Well, that was the wind chill, of course, so that makes it even worse once you get out of the pool and you got that cold wind blowing on you. But, yeah. I mean, I saw what looked like a really big crowd.
It was a good crowd. It was, a day like that, people just get out to do it to say they did it. But, I've been there for every plunge, dating all the way back to 2004. And most times, we've had balmy years where it's actually doesn't feel bad at all. But most times you hear the crowd jump in and it's exuberation and excitement. This time was kind of more like sheer terror, So.
A shrill in the screams that you heard.
Shrill, yeah. My daughter hopped out and she's talking about her feet were burning and she couldn't understand why they were burning.
The extreme cold. But so they went from the outdoor pool to the indoor pool to kind of warm up. Is that what I saw?
Yeah.
Okay.
They did. We do that every year. So it's, again, another free event that we put on every year, and our team just really is always excited to have something unique. And, we have tons of stuff. There's something going on every day of the year. We keep our parks open 365 days a year. I'm proud of our park system and our team that works together to really, come up with a great offering. And a lot of stuff to do. People can check out murfreesboroparks.com. You have up-to-date calendars of everything that's happening.
Yeah. We've got Nate Williams with us, Murfreesboro Parks and Recreation. So what happens to the water in the outdoor pool now? I mean, do you drain pools anymore, that kind of thing? What happens?
No, it's bad for a pool to be drained.
Thought so.
So you lower the water level. I used to do pools. I've forgotten so much about them, I realize, but you drain some of it to winterize kind of the top parts that are exposed, but you definitely want to keep water in a pool. It's like a ship, the vessel you want to keep intact, and draining it's not a good approach to longevity of a pool.
Well, in that much water, the chance of it freezing over or whatnot, I mean, that's not going to happen unless, we're in the deep freeze for a month.
Yeah, and then you just get an inch or two on the top, and that's why we winterize it. But yeah, we keep water in there. So what I'm hearing you say, Ryan, is you'd like to do a special live remote, and you come do your own plunge into the cold water, right? We have
no.
water. Might as well.
I mean, if it were 90, I would still drown myself. So, lead sinks, you've heard, right? So.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. But that wouldn't be pretty. But it's just one of the really cool traditions. And what I think is neat is Murfreesboro Parks and Recreation is involved in a lot of the traditions that we have as a community. And I think that's pretty unique. I mean, you think about this event, I'm also thinking about, 4th of July fireworks and parade
Christmas
and just
parade, yeah.
others, I mean, it just signature events that Parks and Rec has their hands all over.
Yeah, our goal is really to enhance the livability of Murfreesboro and provide fun things and, unique spaces for people to enjoy. So we're always working to see what we can come up with and, provide positive experiences for people living in Murfreesboro and visiting Murfreesboro.
Well, I know this year is, 4th of July is even bigger than ever with America's 250th birthday too. So
yeah, and we're excited. We've been working on some plans for that. More information to come out very soon. But I will tease and say it's probably going to be a 2-night event. So we're excited about that.
2-night event.
Yeah. That's the thing I love about our team. They're constantly, looking up ways to enhance and come up with really fun things to do. And don't shy away from, adding things to an already busy schedule.
Well, yeah, they don't push away from the table when there's more work to do. They probably brought those ideas, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
I think people, despite what Rutherford Ralph says, I think people are really ready to get out, enjoy the outdoors, welcome in spring. So I guess maybe talk about what's going on now. I'm sure basketball leagues are going strong. We're going to be talking about spring sports here before you know it.
Yep. Yeah, we're kind of getting geared up for that. Basketball has been going on for a few weeks. I think we've got 1,600 participants in that program this year. And we're thankful to be able to use the city schools gyms to be able to run such a big program. But it's one of our biggest athletic programs, and it's fun always to see the kids, learning and enjoying and competing. So, but we have stuff going on all the time. We got plays that are starting up, and just everything you could think of. We've got murfreesboroparks.com, and we try to keep people updated on construction projects, things that are coming down the pipe, and a lot of fun, exciting things happening.
So, talking about construction, the new park, I guess ice is probably not a good idea when you're trying to do dirt work, but they've been moving along pretty good out there.
They have been. Yeah, we're really, really excited about the progress and looking forward to having the final schedule so we can let people know when to expect that park to come online. But we fortunately, most of the mass grading was done before, this wet season. So they're building up. I just saw some aerial photos the other day from the contractor, and you're starting to see parking lot, foundations develop. The area where they're going to be putting the pickleball courts and the playground and stuff like that's already starting to show and starting to take shape. You work on something for years like that. It's just a very rewarding thing to see it start to really happen.
Someone was talking to me about the daylighting of the creek, and said, wow, that looks like they've done so much. And I drive by it every day. I see it every day, twice a day at least. And I guess it's been a slow progress, but for them, they had not driven by in a while. And so after saying that, I looked a little more closely at it, and they are definitely moving along. I did hear the mayor say that we're looking at maybe October for that to be ready to go.
It's exciting to see. I think when you see it, the elevations the way they are now, and be able to see water and see how that channels, the water's going to channel through there all the way down, past Cannonsburg. And it's going to be something, I think, generations from now, I think people in Murfreesboro are going to be very appreciative of a space like that and a growing downtown community.
Mm-hmm. I think the water that you see, I mean, it hasn't fully been opened up, I don't think, has it? That water that you see is just what is kind of fallen, from rain. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not intimately involved with that project, but I know that it's not been fully opened up yet. And I think once we see that opened up, it's going to be something that's really beautiful.
Well, at some point, I don't know, is it like somebody builds you a home and then they hand you over the keys? I mean, it is going to be part of the park system, right?
Well, I think it's something unique. It's a downtown area with some development around it. So I know we'll have a role in some form or fashion. It's a open space that we're excited. But, that's the fun thing about being part of the city of Murfreesboro right now. It's really a big team. It's a great team to work with. I think back and, helping out with the snowy roads and trees down and stuff like that. Everybody's working together, from the fire department, of course, the street department, water department. Everybody's working together. So I think this, property will be placed just like that as well.
Okay. Well, just to kind of envision in my mind, it is going to kind of, I guess, bring together or connect two different areas of the Greenway.
Yeah. Well, kind of. It's going to come from the Murphy Spring Discovery Center area, and it's going to be kind of a bridge from there to Cannonsburg where you can get on the Greenway. So as we, gear up for the opening of Town Creek, I think one thing that we're trying to do is really enhance Cannonsburg as much as possible, revitalize it, make it a place where people, have reasons to come throughout the course of the year, because I think we'll get a lot more foot traffic, especially, when this new amenity is open.
Well, a lot of people may not realize that Cannonsburg kind of, the last time we celebrated 200 years of independence, that's when Cannonsburg kind of became a thing in 1976.
Yeah, 1976. It was a bicentennial project. It actually won third place in the nation for the competition at the time to put together kind of a historic semblance of what a community looked like. And here we are 50 years later as we celebrate Cannonsburg's, being here within the park system in Murfreesboro for 50 years.
Well, that's a cool thing. So I'm glad to see there's some revitalization going on, and you'll have to tell us about some of those projects, and maybe we'll get over there and maybe take some video of some of the new stuff when you're ready for that. All right.
We're always glad to have you, Brian.
Well, we'll try to do what we can to spread the news about what our great community is going through, and Parks and Rec is certainly, part of the fabric that runs through that. Appreciate you talking to us, Nate, as always.
Thank you, Brian. Appreciate you.
All right. That is Nate Williams joining us here this morning on Rutherford Issues from WGNS. And thank you for being a part of the program today and listening in or watching, maybe on Big G TV. However you're consuming the show, we appreciate it, and we thank you so very much for making us a part of your day. If you missed part of our conversation with Nate, or maybe a little earlier on, you wanted to get your news update, well, the podcast will be online at WGNSradio.com under podcast and Rutherford Issues. I'd encourage you, if you enjoy the Rutherford Issues program, or maybe Action Line or Wake Up Crew, you can subscribe on your favorite podcast platform, whether it be Spotify, iTunes, on YouTube from our Big G TV network. So check it out there. Well, that's going to do it here for Rutherford Issues today. Until next time, everybody, take care out there.